guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here today. Today I'm just going to show you the very simple process of how to can beans. You can actually hear them if you listen closely. They're already done and their lids are popping in the background, but I'm just going to take you guys along on this process. I want to show you that it's not that hard to pressure can beans. I'm going to be doing pinto beans today and just showing you the simple steps. So come along, let's can some beans. Morning guys. So today I'm working on rinsing some beans. I'm going to be canning up some pinto beans. I thought I would do 14 quarts because I have 2 pressure canners now. I got one over the summer off of Facebook Marketplace. So I'm going to be doing 14 quarts of pinto beans. I got these pinto beans from Azure Standard, and yeah, I think that'll be enough for today. I don't really want to do I don't want to be canning all day long. But I'm going to be home so I can get these going on the stove outside and it'll be fine. So I'm starting by just rinsing these beans really well. Just getting whatever dirt and debris there might be off of them. And you'll notice I have not soaked them or anything like that. And I'll go through and just take little portions of beans out. Like if there's a broken bean, I'll just throw that out. But overall, these beans from Azure are really nice. They're really nice condition. Sometimes you'll get beans and they're just a mess, and I'm really happy with these beans. So I'm gonna go get some jars and then I'll show you how I fill them and what I do. It's really simple, guys. Don't make canning more complicated than it is. It's not complicated. It doesn't need to be complicated, shall I say. So I'm just gonna show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go grab some jars. I'll be back. All right, I've got 7 jars. 7 jars is what fits, 7 quart jars, shall I say, is what generally fits a standard canner. I've just got a funnel. This one is, I think, Norpro. In fact, I think this one is from Azure Standard, actually. But you can pick up the plasticky ones from Walmart or whatever. It really doesn't matter. You just need a funnel so that you can put the beans in easily. All right, and some salt. That's all you're gonna need, okay? Water, bean, salt. So for a quart jar, that's what I'm gonna be doing right now, you need 1 1/4 cup of beans, of dry beans, okay? That is what I've really found to be a nice formula for beans to water ratio. I've done less, I've done more. This really works well. So 1 cup, and I'll probably just go through and just do the 1 cups. Okay, now I'm gonna go through and just add the 1/4 of a cup. Done that. Now I'm just going to go through and add 1 teaspoon of salt per jar. This is just pure sea salt. You can use the Redmond's real salt as well. I really like that. I just don't have a ton of it, and so it is expensive and I don't want to use it all in canning, if that makes sense. All right, the next step is going to be, did you notice the truck I have in my sink? Somebody needed to wash a truck. Go put this over here. Okay, Our next step is going to be adding water to our beans. Actually, I can keep that on there. Here we go. I'm just gonna add probably just tepid water. Okay, you want to fill it up to this bottom ring right here. That gives you 1 inch of head space, and that's what you want. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it up. No special water. It'll all come to heat in the pressure canner. I'm gonna start it on a lower heat setting, and we're just gonna work our way up to it being, you know, hot, because we don't want broken jars. And then once it's hot, then we can get it to come to pressure and can our beans for about 90 minutes. And for me, here in Tennessee, I think I do it on, I need to check, but I think I do it on 10 pounds pressure here in Tennessee. Yeah. And that is our first 7 jars all ready to go. So what we're gonna need to do is wipe off the rims of these jars and put some lids and screws on them, screw lids. And this first batch will be ready to put in the canner. All right, so to get our lids ready, I have 2 wide mouth jars. And then the rest are just regular. So I'm gonna get out some lids here. I like to warm up my lids. Guess you could say the old-fashioned way, but anyway, I just put some water in a pot with the lids, and then I'm gonna put it on the stove and bring it to just a very light boil and then shut it off. Another really handy dandy tool is this magnetic grabber, and I can just dip into that hot water, get my lids, and put them on top of the jar without burning my fingers. Looks great. I just keep the ring lids in a drawer in my kitchen because I'm canning a fair amount. Even in the winter, I just did up a whole bunch of broth a few weeks ago. And then I've showed you before, like I've canned cranberry juice in the early winter months, usually right around Thanksgiving. So I guess still fall, very late fall. So I don't know. I don't mind keeping them in that drawer to have on hand. And also when we do open up a jar, it's nice to have the rings on hand to, you know, if there's some left over, be able to put it on there. So anyway, all right, these are ready to lid as soon as they're hot. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for those lids to heat up, I am going to measure out some more beans for the next 7 jars. And I got a pretty close measurement in here, but every once in a while I might lose count and then not have quite the right amount. So that already looks like 1/4 of a cup in there. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'll do another quart. That's 5, and then see, I probably measured out about 1, 2 extra or something there. All right, got my beans in there now, measured out, and I'm just gonna wash them. I just want to rinse out my canners, clean them up to dab here. Alright, I'm just going to start bringing jars out and filling up my canner. Water here, and I'm just going to be pouring it in until it's about an inch. I thought I had my pan in upside down, but I don't. And then I'm going to get the vinegar and just add a splash in here, and it kind of helps to keep the water from making all that white calcium deposits on your jars. You don't need much, just a little splashy splash. Okay, all done there. And now we're gonna put the lids on and we're gonna light this bugger. Okay. Take the pressure gauge off the top. Line up my arrows, seal it over. Same with this one. Take the pressure gauge off the top. I should have brought my lids in to wash. I don't feel like it, so I'm going to brush off the top. Time to light the stove. And that's that until we get it to where these little pressure gauge deals. Can you see those? Probably not. Until these little pressure gauge deals pop up like a little belly button. Then we will basically let it steam for about 10 minutes and pop those pressure gauges on. It'll come up to our pressure, and then after the pressure is, I'm gonna go look again, 10 to 15 pounds, depending on where you live as well. So you need to check that out for your part of the country, because depending on elevation, it's gonna be different. But for me, it'll be my pressure, and then it'll be for 90 minutes. After it gets to that pressure, you will let it process 90 minutes. We'll turn off the heat. We'll let the pressure gauge go down to 0. Then we can take the lids off and our beans are done. So it's really pretty easy. It's just time consuming for the processing part. I mean, putting them in the jars and whatever, that took 5 minutes. It's the processing part that takes a little bit longer, but if you're home and you can be doing some other things right inside, or if you have your pots inside, it's not really any big deal. So, all right guys, we'll see you in a little while when our pressure gauges start to climb. We're starting to get some action going on out here. It's steaming. Pretty soon we'll put the top on. Alright, you'll see that the button is now popped up. Woo! And I'm going to put the topper on there. And now it's going to start building up steam pressure. And once I get to 10 pounds pressure, because that's what I want, then I'm going to start timing it for 90 minutes, and you can see that it's already climbed off of 0, so it's gonna come up fairly quick. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I could probably turn this one up just a dab now, and we'll get this one going too. All right, guys, I'm just about to the 10 pounds pressure where I can start timing. This one here now, I do have the pressure gauge on it, and I'm just waiting for it to just start rocking. Once it starts rocking, that'll mean that it's up to pressure. You'll notice I have 2 different types of canners. This one is a very large Presto canner, and I actually think that one's a Presto canner as well. They're just different in how they're set up, but this one has the weights on it, and I thought I had gotten one like that for this one, but it doesn't fit on it. It says it's compatible with Presto, but it must just be a different deal. So, all right, that is pretty well to 10, and it's just going to process for 90 minutes. All right, you see that? That's doing what we want it to do. It's making the noise. It's rocking around. 90 minutes on it. Well, we're down to 0, and you'll notice that the little button is down. So I'm pretty well ready to take the lid off and take them out of the canner. It's just a rainy, drizzly day here in Tennessee. All right, guys, come out here. We're just gonna take the little topper off just to make sure. Okay, and they are ready to take the lid off. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. There's all of our beans. They're all nice and canned. You can see them all bubbling. They look really good. And I just hope that you guys can see how easy it is, how simple it is to can your own beans. The most thing it's gonna take is time. Just plan on, if you're gonna be home for a morning or an afternoon, probably an afternoon, that's when you're going to do it. Don't do this when you're in a time crunch and you need to run out the door, because it does take time for your canner to build up pressure, and then to process for an hour and a half, and then for it to come back down to 0 and you be able to take them out. Of course, you don't necessarily have to wait for it to come down to 0 in order to leave the house. You can just take them out whenever. But anyway, it is very simple to do. So if you get yourself a stack of dried beans and you just want some of the convenience of being able to pull a jar off the pantry shelf and use it as you would any other canned beans, this is how you do it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.